Hi, Moral Recapped here. Today I'm going to explain about a film called My Secret Billionaire. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The film starts off with a sequence of scenes presenting the luxurious lifestyle of our protagonist. He takes his helicopter and lands on top of a mountain to ski over the thick snow. He drives collectibles, does sports, and dates women while piloting his own plane. When the normal rhythm is established, we see Pharaoh walk into a building and talk some business with his assistant, Lawrence. He has a quick call with a rival and then orders Lawrence to place an order for 5,000 company shares, which will cost $60 million. There is a meeting awaiting for Pharaoh, but he instructs Lawrence to take care of it. Pharaoh attends a pool party next. He chats up with a blonde and joins a friendly couple of his. He gets a call from his mother, who tells him that his father is ill and he has been asking for his son. Pharaoh finds himself in a plane and his own voiceover quickly narrates his life. He was born in Italy but moved to America and he became a successful businessman. He mentions that his father is worried about one thing, that Pharaoh is not going to discover true love because he is surrounded by money and women. Pharaoh arrives at his parents' house and meets his mama. She warns him that his father doesn't have a lot of time left. Pharaoh then proceeds to greet his father. He bends at his father's bedside to have some final words. His father has one final request. He wants Pharaoh to go far away for 1 month with no money, and he should not use his name or power. Pharaoh asks why should he do that, but his father just wants his son to give him his word. Pharaoh does. Pharaoh's father eventually dies, and Pharaoh greets his mother goodbye. He warns Lawrence that he is going to be absent for 30 days, and later he trades his license to his chauffeur's license. Pharaoh lands in New York. He carries just one medium-sized bag with him. He tries to apply for a job at a pizza place, but the owner rejects him immediately. He visits a bar at night, and he starts chewing on some olives that are lying next to a beautiful blonde who is having a cosmopolitan. They chat up. Pharaoh introduces himself as Claude, which is his chauffeur's name, and does not share what he does for a living or where he stays. The blonde is turned off and bails on him, but a chubby brunette, Peta, takes her place. She is not as impressive, but she is pretty nice. Pharaoh says that he doesn't have a place to sleep tonight, and Peta will take it in. When they arrive at her place, they find one more woman sleeping on the couch. Peta doesn't explain who she is, and sends Pharaoh straight to her bedroom. Shortly, she joins him while wearing her sexiest lingerie and being in the mood for some smooching. Pharaoh lies to her by saying he is gay. Later that same night, Peta is heavily snoring, and Pharaoh can't sleep. He walks to the living room and stares at the other girl, which makes her wake up. He really scares her, and the ladies eventually kick him out. Pharaoh walks on the streets, and 2 thugs attack him. He hits them and manages to climb on a fire escape. The thug lose him, but a woman calls the police since there is a stranger peeking from outside her window. The police arrest Pharaoh, and they hold him under custody for 1 night. He sleeps the night in, and they let him go free the next morning since the police has arrested the 2 thugs that attacked him, and his story checks out. Meanwhile, Diane walks on the streets and has a feeling that she's being followed. We see some scenes flashing in, indicating a man attacking her. Diane bangs on her mother's door with agony and walks in, feeling more safe. Her mother tries to hook her up with someone because she wants her daughter to start dating again, but Diane is not in the mood. Pharaoh spends the night sleeping on a park bench. He has only 50 cents in his pocket and tries to get a hot dog. They are not enough, but the cantina seller gives him a hot dog for free. A courier van accidentally hits Pharaoh. The young driver, Fred, helps Pharaoh and they chat. Pharaoh says that he's looking for a job, any job. Fred says that one of his clients is looking for a chauffeur and drives Pharaoh to his house. This man, Curtis, a guy with bad manners who treats people like objects, is having a fight with his wife, Kat. When they are done, Farrow speaks with them, and Curtis tells him that he will take on various duties other than driving him around, and he will stay in with the family. Farrow needs the job, so he agrees. Curtis's wife says they need someone to bartend tonight, and they hire Farrow instantly. Farrow spends the night serving the guests and washing dishes. He is out of his waters. By the end of the night, Curtis has him drive one of his guests home. On his way, Farrow calls Lawrence and instructs him to give a $5,000 bonus to every employee. Farrow has not experienced the bitter taste of having to work hard for money. Farrow returns to his room where Kat is waiting for him. But Nancy, Curtis's daughter, knocks on his door as well. Kat hides under the bed, and Nancy comes in, trying to have sex with Farrow. Now Curtis himself bangs on the door, and Nancy hides in the closet. Curtis tries to seduce Farrow, but he says he has a contagious condition and disarms him. Curtis leaves first, and then follows Nancy. Farrow and Kat are eventually alone in the room. The next day, Farrow drives Curtis to his company building and sees Diane again. She acts distance towards him, and Farrow is forced to leave. 3 days later, Farrow sends her a bouquet of flowers without a card or message. Shortly, Curtis calls Diane and tells her he forgot his briefcase in the building. He makes her get a taxi and bring him the briefcase. Diane complains that she has to go to a funeral, but Curtis won't hear any of it. Diane brings the briefcase to Curtis's house and sees Farrow once more. Curtis tells Farrow to drive Diane wherever she wants. In the car, Farrow and Diane formally introduce themselves. Farrow apologizes for that night at Peta's house and reveals he is the one who sent the flowers. He wants to go to the funeral with her and then buy her a cup of coffee. They indeed attend the funeral, and it seems like it's the best thing they can do to have some fun. The goofy priest makes them laugh and connect to each other. After the funeral, they have a coffee together. Diane makes it clear that this is not a date, but for some reason she feels comfortable around him and opens up. She finds it hard to believe how she can talk to him. Diane says her husband was killed in the Iraqi war. Time passes and Farrow drives Diane back home. They comment a bit on the Curtis family. Diane says she is looking for another agency to get employment. They pull up at Diane's parents' house. They have a moment and they kiss. Diane's parents peek out of the window and see them kissing. Farrow and Diane agree to meet each other again when they have their next day off. And that is going to be a normal date. A couple of days later, Diane's day off gets recalled and she has to work, but that can't keep Farrow away. He goes with her and they check out some apartments that Curtis has assigned to her. Nancy comes to her father's office and tells Curtis that Farrow went in her room to flirt with her. Curtis lays it out on Farrow and fires him. Diane has had enough and asks Curtis why he has to be so mean to everybody. Curtis calls her a moron, and Diane resigns from her job. Farrow and Diane walk out of the building together, and Farrow tells her what really happened in Curtis's house that night. Diane asks him where he is going to stay now, but that's not a problem because Farrow got paid. Diane invites Farrow to dinner with her parents, and Farrow accepts the invitation. The dinner turns out to be an awkward situation. Diane's parents asks Farrow whom they have met under the name Claude, questions about his life. They get disappointed when they realize that Farrow's future is not quite bright, and it gets even worse when he tells them that he just got fired today and also dragged Diane down with him. Diane has to put them back in line and they continue eating. When Diane and Farrow depart, Diane's parents say that he has good manners, but he seemed like he had not eaten in a month. Walking and eating ice cream, Diane tells Farrow that she would love to stay alone again instead of being with her parents. But that's a story for another time. Diane speaks with Peta and tells her that she is dating Farrow, while Farrow is gathering his stuff from Curtis's house. Farrow and Diane get back together, and he suggests they look for a job together, but Diane has another idea and asks Farrow to be her partner so they can start their own realty agency. She claims she has some savings they can use, and Farrow admires that she is willing to take the risk. Farrow can't forget his old business tricks and offers Diane a better strategy, which she gladly accepts. To celebrate, they go out on a dinner and have a couple of cocktails. They talk about their company, trying to find a suitable name for it, and then they get up and dance to the music. When they return in their room, they start kissing, but Diane won't go any further. Farrow asks her why. Diane doesn't want to talk about it initially, but Farrow says she can trust him and changes her mind. Diane says that when her husband died, she wanted to know what his last moments were like and if he said anything. She made some calls, and a guy told her that he was to her husband's side when he died. Diane met with him, but he was a liar who assaulted her. Diane cries to those memories, and Farrow comforts her. Diane opens her new business, and it's going well. She also converses with Farrow, who mentions that he will have to return to California soon. Diane doesn't like that. Farrow gets a moment alone and speaks on the phone with Lawrence. Lawrence tells him that the Olivetti Enterprises are in danger because Farrow's rival has made a generous proposal to buy their shares. Lawrence says that if Farrow wants to win this game, he just has to show up to the hearing. Farrow flies to California and makes it to the hearing. He is able to regain control of his company. He flies back to New York and returns to the realty company offices. Kat bursts in and kisses him unwillingly. That creates a misunderstanding between Farrow and Diane. Their relationship falls apart. Farrow's 30-day challenge has come to its end, and Farrow returns to California without getting a chance to talk to Diane. But he can't just give up that easy. He returns to New York and knocks on Diane's door. They get a chance to speak and explain themselves. They have a wonderful night, and Farrow asks her to move to California with him, and so they do. When they land, Farrow explains everything to Diane. He tells her about his journey and reveals his true identity. Diane recognizes a kind man in Farrow's face. He treats his employees like they are his friends. By the end of the movie, Diane says that she has to look for a job. Farrow has another idea. He wants to share everything he has with Diane because this is the first time he actually experiences true love. Diane asks him if this is his way of asking her to marriage. It is. The two of them get married and live happily ever after. The movie ends with the married couple and the guests paired to each other and walking towards the exit of the church. With an example of these two, it is a moral conclusion that money can buy any stuff we want, but not true love. Subscribe to see more videos like this, turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel grow. Thanks for watching.